Do you remember when cars used to fit in your garage and your budget? Yeah, me too. Hatchbacks aren't glamorous. They don't have stance, but they still have start stop. Save your sanity in traffic. So before you drop 20 lakhs on a compact SUV, let's talk. So, by the way, over the years, so many people have asked me, what's my favorite body style or segment of cars? And they all expect me to say sports car or premium SUV or who knows what. But me, see, I love hatchbacks. Always have. And I'll explain why in a second. But let me just say, if you're buying your first car, your main criteria isn't I want to tower over everybody else in traffic, then a hatch is still probably even your best bet. एक ऐसा टाइम था कि हमारी पूरी कार इंडस्ट्री में सिर्फ हैचबैक्स और वो भी छोटी एंट्री लेवल हैचेस का ही राज था. एंड आई एम नॉट इवन टॉकिंग दैट लॉन्ग अगो. सो व्हाई एम आई स्टिल हॉट फॉर हैचेस? They are compact, city friendly, fuel efficient, and guess what? They're still way cheaper to run than your average ego lifting SUV. And if you've already got one big family mover, a hatch is the perfect second car for your spouse, for your parents, for those school runs, for anyone in your household who just wants to run a few errands and not fight with parking spots. So, no, hatchbacks are not dying. They're just evolving, quietly doing their job while everyone else is showing off their big SUV alloys on Instagram. And now I will quickly add the reason I love them the most. A hatch has to be engineered, designed, and brought to the market with the maximum constraints. Constraints on size, material, sometimes features, and always price. Meeting those challenges with credible products. What a win that can be for a car maker. That's why I'm fascinated by them. They're tough to get right, but such a joy when it happens. एक ज़माना था, and not very long ago, as I was saying, when hatchbacks ruled Indian roads. Literally ruled. Swift, Santro, Wagoner. These were the faces and names of India's aspirations. Today, the top-selling car is the Tata Punch, which, let's be honest, is a hatchback wearing SUV makeup and platform heels. So anyway, check out 2024's best-selling cars. The Tata Punch leads the charge with over 2 lakh units sold. Keeping the hatchback still relevant is the Maruti Wagoner, and it's followed very closely by its popular MPV sibling, the Ertiga. Maruti's dominance in the top 4 continues with the Brezza, followed by the Creta. No surprise there. Another traditional hatchback to make the cut is the Maruti Swift. Again, possibly no surprise there. It's followed by the Baleno and Desire, and rounding off the top 10, Mahindra Scorpio in 9th place, and the Tata Nexon comes in at the 10th position. Now, there are still a few hatchbacks there on that list, but when you compare to 2023, their numbers have fallen drastically. The Wagoner and Swift both had managed to cross 2 lakh units in 23, which isn't the case last year. And in 2023, hatchbacks were the top 3 selling cars in India, while in 24, there's only one hatch in the top 5. So what happened? Somewhere along the way, we decided that bigger equals better. The definition of premium became taller or bigger. And thanks to easier finance and EMI plans that stretch longer than some marriages, people are okay paying more. So entry-level hatches are now leapfrogged for compact SUVs, which, spoiler alert, are just hatchbacks with attitude problems. लेकिन मैंने अभी तक आज के पॉडकास्ट का मेन पॉइंट तो एड्रेस ही नहीं किया, है कि नहीं? क्या इसका मतलब ये है कि हैचबैक्स पूरी तरह से खत्म हो गई हैं? Here is the plot twist. Hatchbacks still made up 24.5% of all of those car sales last year. That means over 10.5 lakh units. Not too shabby for something that's supposedly dead, right? Addressing the elephant in the room, if you are in a city, spend your life parallel parking between milk vans and delivery bikes, and you want something that you don't need a gym membership to steer, yes, buy a hatchback. First car, get a hatch. An additional second car, get a hatch. Commuting alone, running errands, get a hatch. And if you want to show off, get a Fortuner. So, the apathy from the car guys is just annoying, right? जब से एसयूवीज ट्रेंडिंग बन गई हैं तब से इंडस्ट्री का भी सारा फोकस, सारा ध्यान हैचबैक से उठ गया है। यानी कि जो भी इनोवेशन या नए फीचर्स हमें पहले हैचबैक्स में नज़र आते थे, वो सारा एफर्ट कहीं और चला गया है। Now, I ran a little Twitter poll recently. Nothing scientific about this one. 36% of you said you'd still buy a hatchback for its compactness and ease. 27% in addition wanted a fully loaded one. So that's well over two-thirds of you who haven't given up on logic. Well done. Very well done. So, should you buy a hatch? Yes. Here are my personal picks now, depending on what stage of life you're on. And so, which hatch should I buy? That's the question I'm answering. First, car buyers. Swift, still brilliant. I wish it had a turbo, but it's still sharp, now safe, and still fun. Grand i10 Neos, underrated, smooth, good kit, but just like the Swift, needs a proper automatic. I don't know what it is with these AMTs at the entry hatch level. You could also still consider the higher trims of the Tiago, by the way, great value. A fully loaded CNG variant also. The budget choice is the Citroën C3. Very good looking, ample in cabin space, and really great ride quality. But the interiors are a bit basic. Now, you want to feel like a step up, or you want to get a family car? Baleno, premium enough, spacious, good value for money. But why is there no proper auto or turbo, Maruti? Seriously. Altros, great looks, updated recently with even more features. Just pray your service center isn't in another time zone. i20, fancy, fun, and the N line has that zing, meaning turbo DCT. It's a bit overpriced, but hey, style tax. Now the electric or city-specific option. MG Comet. Wait, don't freak out. Listen to me. It's tiny, it's weird, it's brilliant if you live in Mumbai or Bangalore. There's also the Tiago EV. It's still relevant, solid value. Just keep an eye on Tata's service consistency or inconsistency. The EC3 from Citroën is also something you can consider, but that's not a budget offering. Now, what about the cars to avoid, the caution zone? The cars, well, I'm just going to say, don't waste your time. Celerio and Alto. Feels like they were built by Control C and Control V. Same engine, same vibe. I get it. At a budget, they still work. Espresso, no. Just no. Maruti itself doesn't know what to do with it anymore. And luckily, not a whole lot of people are buying it anymore either. The Ignis, so much potential, so little courage. It could have been India's Mini. Quid, once the disruptor, huge sales. Now it needs therapy and a new generation. Glanza, Baleno in a Toyota Tuxedo. A little more brand polish, same jeans. Let me round this off now. So, no, hatchbacks aren't dead. They're just not on Instagram anymore. They're the jeans you wear every day, while your SUV could be the party outfit that you bring out on the weekends. But you don't live in party clothes, do you? Or can you? Well, if you are an influencer, I'm not talking to you anyway. So, send me your questions. What to buy? What to avoid? Which engine makes sense? Which color won't fade faster than your dreams? And remember, whether you're driving a hatch, an SUV, or you're in a flying saucer, wear your seatbelt, front or back, no exceptions. Hopefully, this is serving as sound advice or a guide for you if you are in the market for a hatchback today. And remember, there is something out there that will completely suit exactly what you need. There is a fair amount of variety still left in hatches, and a fair amount of style, fair amount of kit, and a fair amount of X factor too. Take care, drive safe.